Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and today I am playing Alb987's Rank 1 Legend Odd Paladin. Except, I made one change to the list. I took out a Lotheb, and I put in a Prince Liam. And you might be thinking to yourself, why on earth would you do that? And the answer is, I like to have fun. Odd Paladin is a pretty boring deck. You hit the hero power button, you play things, you buff things, you trade and hit your opponent in the face. There's no RNG involved. Personally, I love RNG, so Prince Liam is in there. Something also really hilarious that can happen is if you have a big board of recruits and you're against a priest who plays Psychic Scream, you can then play Prince Liam if you have it. All those recruits become legendaries, which make for hilarious games. So in this matchup, we've queued into a Warlock. Against Warlock, you want to keep your 1-drops, except for patches. That includes Blessing of Might, because sometimes you need the extra reach to sneak in lethals against your opponent. So against Warlocks, Druids, Priests, Warriors, you usually assume Odd Warrior. You want to keep the Blessing of Might.
None will survive.
And I started playing this deck yesterday at rank 0 stars, and I'm now sitting at rank 2. So I've had about a 70% win rate. It's just been really solid. Again, if you don't have the dust for if you don't own Prince Liam or don't want to craft it, or if you just want to just play low with it, it's perfectly fine. Now here we want to get out the patches, so we'll just go ahead and do this. And I'm going to hold on to the Blessing of Might. If I had a Divine Favor in hand, I would play out the Blessing of Might. Okay, so far our opponent could be Mechathune, Reno Lock, or Cube Lock, any of those three. Another tech which I really like in this deck is the Bloodsail Casser. Obviously it doesn't help in this matchup, but it is just amazing with all the Kingsbane Rogue, which is all over ladder. It's also really good against Even Shaman when they play the Jade Claws and hit, and then you can counter him back with the Bloodsail Casser. That's one of Alb's techs that he put in, and it's been really powerful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here and Hero Power, Protector, and now I will buff the 1-2. I'm going to start pushing in damage. And even if he defiles this, I can follow up with a Darkshire into Hero Power. Now as for the tech in this list, it's running 1 Ironbeak Owl. You might find that 2 might be safer if you're queuing into a ton of Warlock. It's also running double Fungal Mancer, which I'm not always the biggest fan of. But again, I've been queuing into a lot of aggression, so it's been working out pretty well.
Back to your homes.
Okay. So next turn we can follow up with another Hero Power and a Warhorse Trainer. Okay, now we know it's Cube Lock. There's the Divine Favor. That is a top deck. I'm really happy to see that. Let's get some cards. Okay, I'm happy to see the Doomguard, because I don't have an Owl yet to deal with a Void Lord or a Mal'Ganis. Doomguard's probably one of the worst pulls you could have got. But he can attack and then cube Dark Pact. So he's running Prince Tal'Daram, which means he's running an anti-control cube lock. Okay, so at this point we need to start pushing damage as quick as possible. So we're going to go ahead here and Hero Power in the Quartermaster. Next turn we can push. It's unfortunate. Next turn I can push 6 with a Leroy or 6 with Vine Cleaver Deckhand. Now we can deal with most of this. Looks like he might Hellfire here. Okay, there's the Hellfire. That's unfortunate. So now we need Owl or we lose. Okay, that is not Owl. Okay, so this is very bad. So we'll go ahead and go just Creeper, Darkshire, Hero Power, Righteous Protector. Okay. Now the question is, do I buff it? I believe the answer is no. I might need that Blessing of Might for the Leroy. I'll just go ahead and pass. Okay, so this is very bad. So now is where a cube will just destroy us. Okay, he doesn't have the cube. That's good news. Dark Bomb? Spellstone. Of course, they don't run Dark Bomb. Okay. Man, would I love an owl right now. That's not an owl. I think now we can't win. Because even if I pop this, the Void Callers are going to be 3/5s. So that one's a loss. That's unfortunate. But that specific matchup is not favored. So just looking at the deck list here. So when it comes to mulliganing for this deck, as I mentioned before, for the control matchups, you want to be keeping all of your 1-drops except, of course, for patches. You always want to keep Muster for battle. And everything else, I actually don't keep. I don't keep anything else. Maybe you want to keep Prince Liam against a priest, but I wouldn't recommend it. But it's a very easy deck to mulligan for it. And so, you know, the matchups that you dread are the Warlocks and the Priests. Everything else is kind of okay. Even Shaman, even if they play Devolve, you can counter Devolve with Fungalmancer. It's an excellent deck against Rogues. It's really good against Mage. I've had like an 80% win rate against Mages with this deck. Okay, we've queued into a different Warlock from our previous opponent. Okay, so we go ahead and keep the 1-drops. Okay, lots of 1-drops.
None will survive.
Okay, so we'll go ahead here and play the Kasser, because I want to keep the, you know, I want to have the surprise charge with the deckhands, and there aren't any weapons that I'm going to be destroying with 1 durability. Okay, we'll go ahead and Hero Power. Again, if I had a Divine Favor in hand, I would probably play the Protector coin deckhand. And I should mention this deck only runs 1 Divine Favor. I actually prefer that. I find 2 really clunky. That's a tech decision I'm pretty happy with. Oh, I should probably click the end turn button. That always helps. Okay, so we're coming into our opponent's turn 3. Okay, so this, again, this doesn't tell us too much about what he's playing. It also looks like we cannot deal with that, and we don't have any corridor creepers in hand, which is very unfortunate. But it is important that we do hero power, just to make him think that we actually do. Now we're very unhappy to see a Void Caller here. He doesn't have it, thank goodness. Okay, so now we know our opponent is Arena Lock. And again, that's not good for us. I think I will hit, just to whittle it down a bit. So, if our board sticks, we can fungal. That is the Paladin's worst nightmare, the Despicable Dreadlord. So go ahead here and Protector, Coin, Fungal Master. Go and trade there. This makes life a little awkward, but again, we're still not in the best spot. Oh, okay, so the Glacial Shard tells us that this is actually a Treachery Lock. It may not be Reno after all. Say hi to my vacuum cleaner in the background, by the way. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit him in the face. Because some of the Treachery Locks run Reno Lock. Sorry, some of the Treachery Locks run Reno Jackson, others do not. Okay. So we go ahead here and smack through that taunt. It's unfortunate that these recruits are all for nothing. Oof. That hurts. This is very bad. That's a Quartermaster. He doesn't help much. Yeah, we can't win. The battle is over. Unfortunate. So as you can see, one of the worst matchups for the deck is Warlock. When I was climbing with this deck, I was actually queuing into mainly Rogues and Shamans. Quite a lot of Warlocks too, but I was getting lucky against them. Against the last two, we haven't been too lucky. But I definitely wouldn't say that playing against Warlock is impossible. Because if I look at my stats over here, it's not great. But I've had 5 games against Warlocks, and I've won 2 of them, and I've lost 3. So it's not a completely lost cause, but I'm also 0-2 against Warriors because I queued into 2 Dead Man's Hand Warriors, but all the other classes I've got positive win rates against. Even Priest, I'm 2-1 against Priest. So definitely, as you can see right now, my pocket in the meta, again, only a 2-game sample size, but I'm getting 2 out of 2 Warlocks right now. It doesn't necessarily mean you should change decks. It's only 2 games. It's not good to switch decks constantly. But, if I maybe lost to 5 Warlocks in a row, or even 3 Warlocks in a row, maybe I'd consider switching it up. Okay, so we have a mage. We are favored. Usually you assume secret mage, and you're incredibly favored against a secret mage. I also don't tend to have a problem beating Exodia mages with this deck. Except for one time where I got incredibly unlucky and well, I didn't get unlucky. My opponent got lucky and had the full Exodia combo on turn 9, which was pretty devastating. Okay, so we still don't know what our opponent is, but I think I'll go ahead here and just hero power. I don't want to pop the scientist and give our opponent value by either double trading or coining the rallying blade, and I'd really like to save that coin for a quartermaster or a fungalmancer. Okay, so we'll go ahead here and go hero power spell, and then I'll pop the scientist. And so next turn I'll have some choices. Most likely it's going to be testing for counterspell with coin. Now again, we don't 100% know what our opponent is playing. It is looking like an Exodia mage though, but just to test, we'll coin, we'll play the quartermaster, and away we go. So this is where we most likely will see the Frost Nova Doomsayer play. Is that a ping? No Doomsayer. Excellent. Now, in this case, I don't want to play a minion because I want to have a slot open for an Owl or a Leroy or something. So I'm actually considering Divine Favoring just for 2 cards. I think I'll do it. Okay, I've got my Leroy now. That's good news. And we don't hero power. You've got to have that 7 slot open. Okay, so now we can go ahead and I think I'll Fungalmancer just to keep the board healthy. Okay, so now we've dealt with a Blizzard, a Frost Nova. They sometimes run Kona Cold. Okay, this is Blizzard number 2. Okay, and we got to make sure we're doing lethal checks all the time. So we've got 6, 9 at the moment. I think I like going Steward. Well, maybe there's Vine Cleaver. It's a lot of damage. 4 against. I think it's better to buff. I think this is a better play. We'll go Darkshire into Lost in the Jungle, and then the Rallying Blade will buff the Divine Shield guys, and we can push through 3 damage. It also means that if there is another freeze effect, I can pop block with our Leroy Blessing of Might. Okay. So this is good news. He probably needs to, if he wants to survive, he's gonna have to Frost Nova. That's the option. It's a tricky turn for our opponent. Even an ice barrier is not going to help.
What to do?
He could play Mad Scientist and buy a turn.
Time runs out on me.
I think we're going to see a Mad Scientist.
I hope you like my
I
investment.
see a draw. Okay. That's great news. There's our buddy Prince Liam. Okay, so here we go. We go 5, 3,
The battle! Duty calls. The
2 and
battle!
pop.
The battle! The battle!
And we can just go ahead and get rid of this.
Will be purged!
And we got this card for a reason. Gotta play it.
Brave heroes of Gilnet.
Now that is not the correct play, but it is the best play. Okay. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 random legendaries in the deck. Uh-oh. Okay, we might be dead next turn though. I'd like to point out, if that was a lower Theb, I would have just won the game. Keep that in mind. This card's just for fun.
The battle!
Okay.
The battle!
And we'll just go ahead and buff some things. Okay. If we die here, it's our own fault for being a silly goose and playing Prince Liam. Sweet. Oh, there you go. Burn Bristle, Hobart Grapple Hammer. That's got synergy with my Vine Cleaver. Okay, there's Ice Barrier. It's really digging deep.
My hand is full.
Oh, Lady in White's gone. Oh, my Hemet. What'll I do without my Hemet?
The end is coming! My hand is full.
Okay. Okay, so step 1 is to pop.
Duty calls.
Oh! We won! Oh, I didn't get to play my Hobart Vine Cleaver combo. Okay, so we won. I mean, I consider that a favorable. But we're win off rank 2, so we may as well play one more. Try and get back that rank 2. Okay, the rematch.
You asked for it.
For Lordaeron.
Okay, so I will go ahead and keep the 1-drops.
None will survive.
Okay, so we'll do our usual Blood Sail Corsair on 1. Now, our opponent probably knows that we're not running Loatheb now, because it would be way too greedy to run Loatheb and Liam. I think that was a bit of a weird turn 1. I think that Doomsday is way too early.
Reporting for duty.
So now his turn is going to be a Ping, a Novice Engineer, or a Mad Scientist.
An incredible
Oh, Archaeologist. Okay, we didn't see that last game. Okay, so let's go ahead and just build board. That's what we do with this deck.
The light dim.
There's no point rallying bleeding that, it's not a threat. Okay, if he pings... Okay, secret, okay. Very well. So what I like here is muster.
Reporting for duty.
Now, yeah, Patches has already come out of the deck, so we can do this first. Because again, if I had Patches in deck, it wouldn't come out.
The battle. The battle.
Okay, and I want to keep my recruits.
Will be purged.
And then we could have a very nice turn 5 with the Warhorse Trainer. Kona Cold. Okay, that's fair. There's our creeper.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, we'll go ahead and punch in the damage.
The battle.
Repent.
Evil will be purged.
You've also got to be very careful of your weapon charge. It doesn't matter too much in a control matchup, but you always want to make sure that you have enough durability for trading. Obviously, if you have a weapon in hand, you want to be ditching the durability. Okay, so I think I would just hit here. I don't want to equip the blade, as I want to get value off it. However, I could top deck a Vine Cleaver later. So maybe I will. I will.
Evil will be purged.
And we hero power for the creeper. Now that was Doomsayer number 2. That seemed a little early. But the scary thing is that it might stick. And it looks like it's gonna stick.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. I don't think it's that terrible because his hand. So, okay, so his hand size isn't too big. He's probably just gonna start drawing cards.
I hope you like my invention.
Okay. Ooh, Divine Favor. Okay, so now we do a lethal check. We have 10, 13, we have 14 damage on board. That's unfortunate. Can we ever sneak in the extra damage with Divine Favor? The answer is maybe.
What would Uther mount up?
Can we get it? Oh, we didn't get it. Okay, so you know what? Let's use my. Should I use my face? Sure, why not? Okay, so I can pop the block next turn. Now he's got 3 cards double discounted. And 4 cards single discounted. That's pretty scary, not gonna lie. Okay, he's trading. Makes sense. Okay. So, we can pop him at 2.
Charge! The battle!
Okay, and I want to make the board difficult to clear. So we'll go Darkshire, Hero Power, And again, very critical here that we keep a board slot open for Leroy. Or if we want Vine Cleaver Southsea. Oh, he's going for the armor plan. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I cannot do 16 damage. That's for sure. I don't really want to Vine Cleaver one of those. But I might have to. Yeah, I think I don't have a choice. In fact, I can clear both of those. I think I have to. It's just terrifying how much armor can be gained off those things. So we've now got 1 card double discounted, 3 cards single discounted. There's my buddy Liam.
My hand is full.
Okay. Here we go again.
Evil will be purged.
Oh, I was Ice Barrier too.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. Liam doesn't matter at this point. We're out of 1 mana cards. Pretty sure we're gonna die.
You require my assistance.
Here comes death.
Someday I'll be just like you. Someday
So for those of you who are not familiar with this combo, it consists of playing Antonidas, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Molten Reflection, and then getting infinite 0 mana fireballs. Now you might be thinking, well, if that was Loetheb, you would have won. Probably not, because considering he has 3 cards in deck, pretty sure he has an Ice Block in hand. GG's. Can't win them all. But yeah, if you wanna, you know, a lot of people ask me what is a what's a really good deck to ladder in Wild at the moment. Definitely Odd Paladin. If you're not queuing in the Warlocks or Warriors, you're in a good spot. The code is in the description below with Loetheb instead of Prince Liam. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you want to support the channel, the subscribe button is below. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Slizzle466, and I tweet various Hearthstone related items at twitter.com/Slizzle466. So until next time, see you again.